Good afternoon, Scott with T3 Live. Welcome to today's recap. So today we came in not really knowing what to expect. Yesterday we had a pretty potent down move below the 8-day, right near the 21-day. Actually, the third down day from the highs. I think the high in the S&P was 2009, and we got all the way down to like 1984-ish. So the question was, would we go down to the 50-day? Would we go down lower, or would we reverse up and bounce a bit? So just going to some of the charts, I could show you, what took place here. So first of all, just when you see something like this happen here, like when the 8 and 21 day get broken, sometimes it leads to a pretty quick correction. Okay, that happened to start the year. Then right in here, if you remember, many times it looked as if we were potentially going to break the 8 and the 21 day, and it had all these tails and false starts, and we broke to the upside. And then here, it was definitely a choppy type tape, but it was trending, and then finally closed below the 8 and 21 day before, pulling off about 4.5%. So I don't mind taking risks down every time we break the 8 and 21 day, just to be careful so we don't get caught in something like this. When we're above the 8 and 21 day, I love to ride things as long as I possibly can. So yesterday I pretty much had all my options on, but I didn't really have much stock on because I wasn't sure what this would lead to. What would this move lead to? I think you saw all the bears on TV as usual, whether it was Abby, whether it was whoever, talking about how now this is it. Anyway, so the high here, 2011, okay, to yesterday's close was 1988, so about 22 handles, and at the 21 days. So all you knew was yesterday's low, which was 1984. So the question is, will we push below it and get down to the 50-day or somewhere in there, or push below, have everyone pile into shorts, and then come back up? And if you were looking for a buy the dip, a shallow dip, that's what happened today. It produced a red dog reversal, and it was a very tight one. You could have bought, the what's it called, the SPX at 1984. It went as low as 1982, two handles, and then it went 13. So your risk was two handles for a 13-handle move. That's a pretty nice red dog reversal. In the spiders, just to show you, because a lot of us trade that intraday, not necessarily the SPX, I think it pushed below it by like 10 cents. So if you were looking to buy the 21 day the first time, you had the low of 198.91, put a low in at 198.77, so whatever that is, 15 cents, then it closed pretty well. And now, you just widen this range out. Don't know if we're going to just come right back up, or we do some more inside days, or we chop around. This happened for a while here. Remember that with the 8 and 21 day? And that's what happened today. So with that said, when you come in light and you're trying to figure it out, that red dog reversal is a good thing to use for cash flow trades, because sometimes they don't amount to much. Or you put it on, you take some off and book the trade, and then you let some go just in case things continue. If you look at the Qs, what did that do today? Not much. Okay, pretty much chopped again, where it held above the 21 day and still in this range, and these engulfing days haven't amounted to much yet, but so if you're getting a little chopped up, it happens. The Russell did not fall apart. It also wound up trading below the prior low, and you could have made a quick little trade there too, below 115. The low was 114.71, so what, 29-cent risk for a move that went about 80 cents, and now who knows? Still, not great, but I guess hanging around, which is good for that. The XLF, which was kind of strong early. It was one of the stronger groups. Didn't even get below the prior low, so an inside day, so a little bit different. And that was that. So let's go through some stocks. Okay, came in today. I was like, all right, a little the high beta tech names are a little wishy-washy. Apple didn't act phenomenal yesterday, so the question was, what would it do? Would it go down and test yesterday's low? Would it have just a small inside day, or would, after getting a lot of people out of the stock, after all the back and forth and the algo's gone wild, would it retrace and repair and go? So you look at Apple, it wound up having a pretty nice day. We've been talking about this chart. I always talk about the different patterns here. This was a nice one, another nice one, another nice one. Then this was the ascending that got you out. And then, coming into today, this was very loose and wide. So I was like, oh, what do we do here? Are we going to have an inside day okay, in a few, and then maybe at some point we break above 100 and we get back to the upside and negate this, because you have to almost like discount this whole day, because you have a tail this way, tail that way. All they did is, stop out some shorts, stop out some longs, and then today was like the real day of trading. And that happened, which is a nice day. Some nice commitment to that. So for me, I got long somewhere around 99.30-ish. I didn't tweet it out when I got long because I wasn't sure what it would lead to. I took some of the trade and then I held some of the trade. If you look at the 5-minute chart, so you could see, how you could have entered. Okay, this was yesterday. Okay, this is when, boom, on the September launch, and then boom, you had to have a phone to have the watch, and then today, we didn't know much. All you knew is, you had a tight pattern here. So you take everything else out of the way. If you were trading this in the moment like I was, okay, trying to figure out what could be next, you had a lower range wedge. Where right around here, I'm like, this looks interesting. If it breaks above this, I probably, could add to my longs. Same way if it broke below, it would have continued the downside move. So what did it do? Broke above it. Okay, and then this was another level where it broke down from. What did it do there? Broke above it. And then it wound up closing pretty strong. So with that said, this was your entry if you were out of your position in Apple, somewhere around 99 when it broke above that wedge. Now I still have some, I still have my call spread, and now we'll see what's next. But overall, nice engulfing day, getting rid of these 4 days and making the chart a little bit better. You look at Google, some people were asking me about it today. I'm like, maybe you'll get a red dog reversal. And at this point, after this wide range bar, I sold my Google stock on this day. I did not buy it back today. I probably should have. You had a little red dog reversal around 590. So if you took the trade, great. If you bought some, sold some, and held some, now you might have a good entry. You did it calculated. You still have a series of higher lows here, higher low, higher low, higher low, and then at some point maybe it takes that out. Maybe. Tesla still hanging around. Nice little red dog reversal there. Looked like it was, a lot of these things looked like they were going to fall apart, and they didn't. And now it's back into some type of wedge formation. We'll see what goes on there next. Netflix, same thing. Okay, this has been a great stock. Lots of momentum trades, and recently there's been some fake outs. This was a nice trade here, nice trade there. Another nice bull flag right there. And now it's been hovering and consolidating, and one of these points is you might go and not look back. It's looking pretty good. Just at this point it's choppy, so hard to add. What else happened today? Oh, Twitter was upgraded early, and look at that. That made a higher high. I'm still in a call spread, so I could use that trade all the way up to 55. That'd be nice for October. We've talked about the many different entries here, and yesterday it did look ugly. It looked as if you had a wide range bar, filled the gap, but where did it really just go? It went to the 8-day, which it's been hugging the entire time. It could have even went to the 21-day and been fine. Just the speed would have changed. Now you look at Facebook, looks as if it could go again, right? Hugging the 8-day, was strong, pulled in a little bit towards the close, but tomorrow, if it trades through this 78.17, you can get another move. A lot of $80 options have gone off 85s. It's still hugging the 8-day, still looks, like it's in the game every time the market wants to go up. So I'm actually long this, and I got long because I'm like, what? If Twitter could do it, maybe Facebook does it. And I know I'll be buying it through 78.17. So let me get some in the base. So if I do play for some momentum, kind of like what we did here, I have some already. Or the same thing here. But anyway, so it looks all right. We'll see what happens there. WB. Actually hung in there better than it's hung in there in the past. Got hit early on. Still looks pretty good. At some point, maybe with a little sideways action, digests and then gets through 22. That would be nice. Bank of America has my number lately. It was so good to us last year. This year I've been getting chopped up. Nice move there. Looks pretty good. Okay. Goldman upgraded on this day. I went home pretty long, a lot, and I got out yesterday thinking the market was going to come in, and then this happened, and now it looks like at some point it's going to take out this 1646 and go. Some of the other banks look okay. Goldman turned back up after holding the 21-day. Citigroup, engulfed yesterday, held the 21-day, still hanging in there. So if you think the banks might go into the Fed, this is something that doesn't look as good as the chart of Bank of America, but looks all right. What's Morgan doing? Same thing. All of these look pretty much the same. You have, holding the bottom end, not a momentum trade. Kind of buy the dip and then see if we repair to go. Best looking one, I guess, which wasn't the best looking one before, is this Bank of America, because it's at the top end of the range, and if it clears it, there's really not much out there until, you know, what is this? This is like 1670, and then maybe up into about 17 bucks. So something that's acting better. It's got all its, I guess, legalities behind it. Then you go to the momentum names. G-Pro knocking short's teeth out. Look at that friggin' move. Looked as if it might be over here, right? It looked as if you get a small topping tail after an enormous move from the breakout, and then this happens. Boom. So you got to be careful with these guys. You know, they could always go further than you think, and what a big trade. You know, you go to Mobileye, gave you a quick short, okay, and then regrouped. I know guys who traded it off the open made some quick money as it traded below. Okay, the pivot, which I had in the note, 54.84, went as low as 52, and then turned back up, and now it's probably going to build, and at some point, you know, we'll get another trade in here. Okay, good. Let it consolidate. Let it rebuild. I think this Loco is getting close. You know, this has been public for a while. Nice wedge pattern, getting real tight. I know it's choppy intraday, but I do think that at some point, if it gets above this 37.70, it could go. It's going to need heavy volume, and then you have 42 there. So this is on my radar. I bought some today. I think, you know, in the next day or so, I need to have it on, you know, at least own a little bit. So if it does go, I'll see it. What else? Gold, you know, just trending lower. Stocks just, you know, the metal has just been horrendous, to be honest. Not much to say about it. Did a little red dog reversal yesterday, thinking maybe you get a cute trade. People are like, oh, you know, Scott, you want to be long this one? It did a little RDR. I'm like, not really, because it's a metal and it's random and erratic, and I don't need to deal with it. And then it was down about $1 before reversing up a little bit. It's very oversold from all the moving averages. Still broken, so if you were short, maybe you covered some, maybe it bounces. We'll see. TLT also, you know, continuing down. It actually gapped below the 50-day. Okay, remember the island top I said could control the trade, you know, moving forward. So if you weren't committed to it, it was better to sell here around 116.73 versus thinking, what do I do with it now? Down below 115. You could always save yourself some money when you get some type of, you know, situation you weren't thinking could go on, and that's what an island top is. Okay, when you trap people here in an extended trade or trend. Flip it over to TBTs, you know, big gap up, so that was something to trade against if you wanted to be long, and now, you know, coming into the 50-day, you probably trim some, and then we'll see what happens next there. The OAHs reversed a little bit today with a red dog reversal at the 200-day. It's a broken sector, but, you know, someone pointed it out to me, so, you know, we've had these rolling corrections and then some rallies, so I bought a little bit today. Tried to do it there, didn't work. Maybe tried here, so I tried some. So, you know, today was a day where the market said, okay, we were 25 handles off the highs. It bounced a little bit. That's been pretty typical. Doesn't mean you go all in long, but some things are still acting very well and trending well. Yesterday, if you reduced the risk, you had same chances today to get back in, probably at lower prices, because we did go lower. You know, you could have used the red dog reversal, because who knows what could have happened today, so you can't be upset. So if you sat there all day and said, oh, I had this yesterday, you know, and you couldn't get back in today because you sold it, you probably had a chance to get back into it because a lot of things were lower in that first hour. You know, stock doesn't remember that you were long it. So anyway, we'll see what happens. The president speaks tonight on ISIS. I think tomorrow is September 11th. Never, you know, a good day. Or actually, you know, it's hard to say. You know, it's hard. It's different for everyone. I know I was in the city and I saw the second plane fly over and, you know, lost friends. So, you know, you always think back, and I can't believe how far or how long ago that was. Geez. So that's why I always say glass half full. You never know what happens, and don't sweat the small stuff. If something happened to someone in your family on that day, you know, my thoughts go out to you. Hopefully, you know, things have changed and you know, you don't forget, but you know, you go on. I'll see you in the morning. Hump day. Tomorrow's Thursday. Thirsty Thursday. See you then.